itself. About that, I will tell you like where is the career after the Python. That also I'll be telling you like what we should do after the Python. That also I'll be sharing in this particular workshop itself. So here I'm going to start about the first thing first, and that is what is Python first. Now, there are several definitions of Python, and you must have listened from your faculties also that Python is a programming language, or Python is a scripting language, or someone is saying Python is a general purpose language. So what exactly is a Python? That I'll be clearing you with a complete definition. I will explain you the each and every terms which is there in the definition also. So this is a definition which I tried to make it and all the point together so that you understand Python completely. So here I'll tell you like what the Python is. Python is a general purpose, interpreted, interactive, object-oriented, high-level scripting language. Now, every word is very important here. Why I'm saying every word is important? Because some guys say, sir, what exactly the general purpose means? Because some guys, they don't know what other purpose is also there. Do we have something other purpose also? So let me tell you like, yes, there is a other purpose also. General purpose is something where you say, this is a language for multitasking. Like you can do anything here. You can use a language for web programming also. You can use a language for testing also. You can use for the searching, web scraping, and many more purposes. But what is the other purpose then? The language could be a specific purpose or domain specific now. So what is that domain specific means here? When you say domain specific, it means you are using for a certain domain, let's say for database language. Now you are using the certain language database. Which are the language we are using for database? You are using SQL, MySQL. So these are the specific purpose language. Or even the HTML, take the language HTML. So these languages are the specific purpose language. Whereas the language like Python, C++, Java, those languages are a general purpose language. So as I say previously, general purpose means you can perform any task. So one term at a one time. So in definition, I will say Python is a general purpose. The meaning of general purpose means using this Python, you can perform any task. This is very, very important term. Let me tell you guys why. So it's a very flexible, right? So you can do whatever you want. You can use a Python for data science. You can use a Python for machine learning. You can use Python for AI programming. So whatever is your objective, whichever the type of industry, in all cases, you can use a Python now. And that is the reason it is very important to know that what is a general purpose means. It is not just the specific thing like database, like you say, okay, this is only for SQL query, or it is only for database. No, it is not like that. It is not just for the web programming. You can use for whatever the purpose. You can do any kind of project using the Python. And that this is a very, very important term that we are saying the Python is a general purpose language. Now, let me tell you, not only Python, there are other languages like Java, C++, Go language, JavaScript language, they all are come into the category of general purpose. Whereas the language like R language, now when you say R language, because many of the data scientists, they are can you mute? Okay, thank you. Okay, so I hope it is clear that what the general purpose means and what is specific purpose means. So when you say R language, R is a language specifically for data science. It's prior to the R language, there was a statistical language. So now the R language is considered as a statistical language. So here the focus is to do the data science. Its only focus is data science. Whereas Python you can use for data science also. Python is for other purpose like web programming also, for testing also. So it is not specific to data science only. So you have the choice, you have the freedom to use the language for whatever the purpose you want to use it. And let me tell you, Python can be used by anyone, anybody, even the I can say those who like to develop the game, they can use a Python for game development. Those who like to go for some other industry, let us take the banking industry, There also you can use a Python for data science or for machine learning, whatever the purpose you want. So here, this is what the purpose of, this is what the meaning of general purpose here. Now, second term in the Python, you must have heard several times that Python is an interpreted language. So what is interpreter means here? See, interpreter means now there are languages, there are several languages which are, we call interpreted language. Which are the language which are interpreted? What is the difference between interpreted and compiler-based language? Now, language like C, C++, and Java, they are considered as a compiler-based language. Whereas the language like shell scripting, Unix shell, we have shell, right? Shell is an interpreted language. Perl scripting is an interpreted language. So the most of the scripting language, what you see, where there is a line-by-line execution takes place, those languages are considered as an interpreted language. Now, Python is an interpreted language. What is the benefit of having the interpreted language? Means here, you just write one line and you can see the immediate response. That way, there is an interaction. So here, you just say Python print hello, and you can get immediate response out it from the interpreter itself. And who is doing the part which is related to machine now? That is all taken care by the interpreter. Interpreter is taking care of all the low-level part. What do I say high level? I'll be coming back to the high level. So when you say the low-level part means here something related to a machine, something related to allocation, deallocation of memory, how to execute, and in a backend, that is all taken care by the interpreter. Interpreter do everything, byte coding, converting that, making it communicating to the hardware or the compiler. Everything is taken care by the interpreter here. How it is developed? It is developed using the C language. So as this language is developed using the C language, internally there's a compiler. Who is communicating with the hardware? Communication is done by the compiler, right? But then overall, what happened? Interpreter is taking care of everything for you. So as a high level thing, what you see is the interpreter. Internally, there is a compiler, but we are not directly communicating with the compiler now. It is through the interpreter, communication is happening with the hardware now. So here there is an immediate response. That's why we say interactive. You just download the Python, and you can just run the shell like print hello world, and you get immediate response. That's why we call it is interactive. So anybody who is very new to the programming language and they would like to try it out and say, okay, print hello, hi, how are you? You can get immediate response from it. That is what the interactive language means. Other language, what happened? Even for the simple hello world, you need to write 4 to 5 lines of 4 to 5 lines, and then you need to compile it. And once you compile, then you need to execute. Like in the case of C language or Java language, you must have seen, like for even simple hello world, what you need to do it, right? So here it is so fast that you just say print welcome and you get the immediate response here. Now, this is very, very important term, that Python is object-oriented scripting language. Now, there is a difference between object-oriented programming language, object-oriented scripting language, just programming language, and the scripting language. So what is this object-oriented scripting language now? Now, Java is object-oriented programming language, whereas I say Python case, it is an object-oriented scripting language. What does it mean now? Meaning here is that in Python case, everything what you type here is an object. Everything, whether it is say integer, whether it is a float or string, so all data types are considered as an object. So object means there are classes already defined in this case, right? We'll understand what object means, what class means in detail in Python. But here understand that everything is already predefined now. In case of object-oriented scripting language, the things are already defined. We are using reusability. The concept of reusability used everywhere. There's a principle called dry principle. And what is that dry principle? The dry principle says that do not repeat yourself. And that principle of Python is used everywhere. So here, all our classes, all our objects, and we just use it. So some of the guys would like to know, so what is the difference between the class and object? Most times we are confused. What is class and what is object? Let me tell you, class is a blueprint. When you say class is a blueprint, means it's a design part. So you don't see what is internally, right? Let's take the example of car now. Now car is having some design, like how the layout of the car is. So car is having certain wheels, let's say 4 wheels are there, we have steerings, we have some design part. So all that design part is done in the class. Whereas if you want to say the real car, based on the design, someone is manufacturing the car. It could be any car now. It could be Honda car, it could be Maruti Alto car, or whichever the car it is. So that is a real car. Whereas there is a design which is we call class, and what you see, the real thing, that the car, maybe the Honda, Maruti, whichever the car you say, they all are object. So I hope you got the difference between the class and object. So in the case of language, what happened? You decide the methods, you decide the data, and you encapsulate together. All these things we do in the case of class. So class allows you to encapsulate data and methods. So what are the properties or the feature you would like to write it, that everything you design or decide in the case of class. And based on that, you create an object. And you can create an object of any type now, based on the class. So this is your customized object. When you say the built-in object, means they are all predefined. But when you say customized, means user-defined object, that you decide, okay, what should be the properties. So as a programmer, you can, in the Python, you can design your own class, and you can also, means here there is a class also object in the Python case. Other language it is not there, but in the Python case, let me tell you, even the class is considered as an object. So here what happened exactly? I was not that clear. Okay, so what is the difference between the Java and Python? Now let me tell you, the Java is object-oriented programming language, whereas Python is object-oriented scripting language. In the Java case, you need to write your class. You need to write a class and then create an object. And you need to write many more lines here for even simple hello world also. You communicate with the compiler, and you talk to the compiler, and then you get the output. We say system.out.println. And that is not the case in the Python. In the Python case, what happened? Interpreter is taking care. You don't require to worry here. So you can see the lines of code here now. In the Java case, a simple hello world. How many lines you are writing? You're writing almost 5 to 6 lines of code. And then you compile, and then you get the output. That's not the case in the Python. Python is simply say print and hello world, the response is there. So one thing you understand, that here it is an object-oriented programming language, here it is an object-oriented scripting language. So there is a huge difference. When you say object-oriented scripting language, already classes are defined. So there are built-in objects available. But that is not the case in the Java. Java, you need to write your own class and then create an object. By default, we don't say there's a built-in objects are there. Everything is not object in Java. You create an object using the classes. Okay, it's an object on the programming language, and here it is a compiler base, here it is an interpreter base. Here things are very fast. In the Python case, you just say and they're done. That's not the case in the Java. You have to write, compile, and then get the response. I hope it is clear to you. Let me see if any question is there. Otherwise, I will go ahead. Okay, I think everything is fine. Fine. So you can write your questions in the comment box. I will be checking in between. I will try to respond also. Okay. Now let us start the quick start to the Python, because as I say, it is workshop. So I wanted to first tell you like what the Python is. So let me again tell you complete definition of Python. Whatever I say about, I just defined one definition only. Just imagine I just defined one definition till now. And what I say about Python is general purpose, interpreted, interactive, object-oriented, high-level scripting language. I hope it is clear to you what is Python now. And that's what I wanted to define. And I hope it is clear to you like what the general purpose means, what is interpreted means, what is interactive means, what is the difference between the scripting language and the programming language, or difference between the object-oriented programming language and the scripting language. Now the time has come for the hands-on session also. For doing the hands-on, what we should do, like we have two options available. One option is those who would like to go for a quick start to the Python. This is the one option where you can download the Python from the site python.org. That's a one option available. The second option, which I'll be using, and that is the Anaconda. Now here there is a link from where you can download Anaconda. Now why Anaconda? I'll explain you why I'm actually why I am using the Anaconda. Why I would like to recommend the use the Anaconda. Is the Anaconda is a Python? Answer is no. Anaconda is not a Python. Anaconda is like a distributor. Is having a no. It's not just the Python. Anaconda distributor include the Python as a one of the package. And along with the Python, there are 800 plus packages loaded, and that too more related to data science, machine learning, and also somewhere I will say the deep learning. Those kind of packages are already available when you are using the Anaconda. Otherwise, you need to install it manually. So here you can save your time. So one thing is like you are getting the packages in the Anaconda. Second thing is you are getting the very good IDE to write your program. So you can type entire script, all the script in the notebooks, and you can execute it step by step. So you are going to see this practically, that how we exactly use this notebook. So here this is a link like for like based on your operating system. Now Python is a language which is an open source language, and it is available for the all the platform. You can use for the Windows, Mac, Linux, and again like 64-bit or 32-bit. That's your choice. Based on your operating system, you can select the GUI base, like mostly like most of you guys will be having the, let's say, Windows, then go for 64-bit GUI. Those having the Mac, again, like we have option available to download, just click it and then download. So here there's a link, and let me share it so that the screen is visible. Let me share it once again. It will come. Yeah. So here there's a link where you can download this Anaconda. Here, from here, there's a individual. This is what we say individual edition. And in the individual edition, you get the option to download. Here, this is the option. Right? You simply need to click here and get the installer. So I will recommend all of you, if you would like to do the hands-on, even after my workshop, whatever the session I'm conducting, my recommendation will be to download, install because in meanwhile, I'll be taking the theory part. So in case you have the internet, you can keep downloading and just like follow the wizard for the installation purpose. It's very much safe. It will create your virtual machine also automatically, and in the virtual machine only that particular Anaconda will be installed. Right? So just do this part as a backend activity. In the front end, I'll try to explain like why Python and the theory part I'll try to cover. Okay, so I'll again start with the theory part here. Meanwhile, you can start downloading and installing in case you're not using the Anaconda. So I will recommend all of you to use a Anaconda here. Okay, we have a channel like YouTube channel. You can you will be getting the lot of workshop like artificial intelligence workshop, data science, machine learning. So I will request to all of you, whenever you get a time, you try to go to those channel also and see keep on learning, because even the Python workshop I conducted, data science workshop, you'll be seeing in the next week itself. So keep on connecting to this YouTube channel. Now here, before we go to the hands-on session, because I want all of you should have this particular Anaconda software already installed on your machines. So I'll be giving you some time for the installation and all. So meanwhile, I would like to discuss about why Python is so popular. Any reason behind it? If let us find out the reason now. What is the reason the Python is becoming so popular? Previously, we were not discussing more about Python. But recently, from past 5 to 6 years, I've been seeing every company is talking about the Python. What is the reason? Let me tell you like what is the reason behind the Python. So here I'm talking about the features of the Python here. Python is most productive language here. Now, what is productive language now? Productive language is something where you write less and get the output more. With a few code, just write a few lines of code and get the output. That is what productive means here. It is a language which is having the dynamic typing. So what is the dynamic typing means? So dynamic typing means here something where you do not require to define the types. You don't say, okay, this is an integer and is having certain, this is a float or this is a string. You don't require to say in the Python case. It is very simple. Python, you just give the value. You're going to see this practically. So you'll understand what dynamic typing practically also. There also I'll explain you. But let us understand quickly here. The dynamic typing means on runtime, interpreters say that this is an integer, this is a float, this is a string. All that is happening during the runtime. That is what dynamic typing means. The language is having a rich set of libraries. Let me tell you, Python is having such a big library because of the big community. Python is having the biggest community in the world now. So that community has developed so much of library for us, whether it is a data science library, machine learning library, web programming library, whichever the library you want to say, that is available now. So it has a rich set of library in the Python case. So and has a large community. Then next feature is that is a language which is very easy. So you can use it. Anybody is like anybody can learn. It's easy to learn as well as for use also. So as I say, like in this 2 days workshop, you will be very much comfortable to use using this Python language while doing the hands-on session. Why it is easy? There are main reason is like the number of lines of code. The lines of code is less, and it is a more natural language. It's not like you need to understand like how do you allocate the memory, pointers, references, all those things. We don't require to worry here. You don't require to write a word like static, public static, void main, or you can just imagine like like other language you need to talk to the machine also. It's not like here. Lot of things is done by the interpreter itself. So Python is taking care of a lot of things here, allocation of memory, and internally communicating to compile is just done by the Python interpreter itself. So it's unnatural language, you can say. That's why it is very easy. Having the simple syntax, you will see very few keywords in the Python case. Even as come to the Perl language. In the Perl, what happened? You have a lot of syntax available, although it is a interpreted language, but Python case we have a less keyword, and with a less keyword you do more, and that's what you will see in the case of Python. Code readability, here the language is what you will see, there is a readable code. You can easily see like how the block started, how the block ended. So it's an indented language. That's why we call code readability. So this was the second point. The third point is the language is mature. Let me know, Python has not come recently. It is there from almost now 30 plus years now. It started in the 1989. The person who started is a Guido van Rossum. I'll be discussing more about him. But 1989, almost now 2020. So almost 30 plus years, that kind of maturity is there in the language. So much of library and has a very good supportive community. So whatever you want, you have the solution available. Let me tell you, Python is community is providing you lots of video tutorials, blogs, online tutorials, guidelines. Everything is available. Even you visit the site python.org or even the Anaconda, you will see the tutorials are available. So that is what we say experience means. So it has already so many things available. It's not like you need to start from the scratch here. A lot of things are already developed. You just need to understand how to use it. Thing is like in the Python, things are more. You just need to learn it. You need to just use it. So by using only, we learn more in this case. As previously also I discussed that Python is having a rich set of libraries, and it is one of the fastest. It has a great framework also available. Like we have a Django framework, which is a web framework mostly for web application development. So what are the libraries which are, I say like, which are very useful? The library like Matplotlib library. If you would like to see the graphical usage, like you would like to see the various chart. So you like to have the plot of your data. You have data and statistical data. You like to see the plot of that data. So in that case, you can go for the Matplotlib library. We also have a engineering library available like for the scientific purpose, and that is called SciPy library. We also have a numeric library available, NumPy library available. We have a web scraping library available like a Beautiful Soup and BS4 or so they are like a web scraping library. So this way you have a great, or you can say the rich setup library for the usage purpose. Now there is a flexibility. This is most important part in the one of the, I can say, why Python is becoming so popular. Python is giving you flexibility. Now, what flexibility? As it is general purpose language, as I say in the definition itself, it allows you to develop the varieties of application. What kind of application? You can go for web application, you can go for automation of anything. Anything you want to automate, Python is there for you. You have GUI programming as one of the option available. So in case you would like to go for Windows programming, go for the library like tkinter, and you can start creating the GUI programming also. If you want to go for the game development, the library is available. I'll be talking about which library is there for the game development also. We have a test automation. Recently, I have taken one workshop on test automation only. You can look at that workshop also, how you can use a Python for test automation. And most of the company, whenever you're developing some product, automation is needed. And in that case, testing is very, very important. So you can use a library like a Selenium library. So Python is having the Selenium library. Using the Selenium, you can do web automation testing also. Also, it has a unit testing library available by which you can write your test cases also. Not only that, you can go for network automation. Like in the Cisco company, previously they were having the automation using only the shell scripting, but now they're having all that automation of network done using the Python now. So all that router automation, router configuration, switch configuration, all that configuration is done by Python script only now. I have taken several workshops for the Cisco company. They all are using the Python now for the network automation, cloud automation, and many more companies. Let me do with my experience. I have worked with 100+ MNC, and all that company, they were asking for different purpose. Someone was saying like, sir, we would like to go for the web programming. Which particular library I should use it? I was saying, okay, the best and the robust library is a Django. Go for the Django framework. Yeah, we have other framework available, like a Flask is there, Pyramid is there. But then when you go for Django, it is a robust library. It is a scalable and you can do the thing quickly. So web programming. So then someone asked from the company, like networking company, they said, so which is a library I should use for the networking purpose? I said, yes, you have a great library called NetMiko and Paramiko. Go for it. And using the NetMiko, you can communicate with whichever the router device you want to communicate, or whichever the switch device you want to communicate, and you can do the configuration and automation part there. You can get the report automatically. Network automation. Guys, you are from networking, go for network automation. You are from web development, go for web. So you have a choice now. That is the flexibility. That is what the expectations are. So the language is giving the flexibility for all the careers. So you have all the career options available. You are not restricted to do specific purpose. You are interested in database, your option are for database also, big data also. Whichever option as a career you would like to choose, there is a option in the Python, because the community has done great work for all of us. For each and every type of category, libraries are available. As previously I was saying, like the framework, rapid web framework, Django, Flask, and the Pyramid, these are the fastest web framework already available. Those who like to go for the e-commerce based application development, and that's something which is in demand. Our project like gktsys.com and gktsys.in, both the product we have developed, both are LMS product. These products are developed using the Django only. Now, we have done a lot of work in the Python and Django. Python, Django, as well as we are connected to data science. Somewhere we are written the chatbots. We are using the AI application also. We are doing practically lots of projects we are developing in the Django, and still going on. Almost I can say 30+ applications we are developed using the Django now. We are integrating the Django with a high-level language like AngularJS. Somewhere now we are using the React.js. So all those web technology which are there, we can directly connect with them. And also we can connect to any database like mostly what we are using and recommending also is a PostgreSQL. It's a freely available and so open source database. So I will recommend all of you, those who are using the Django, go for the database like PostgreSQL, or you can go for some other database which is like a MySQL or Oracle. But then that is something where the commercial applications are developed, where the company is giving the license to you. Okay, so I hope it is clear to you. Let me check if any question is there in between. Okay, so yeah, we will plan it out. Yeah, so the Django framework as well as the Flask framework. We'll have some workshop in between. Definitely we'll schedule that also, because our project will be mostly done using the Django only. Great. So the next thing is the game developments. Most of the kids, they are like, they just started their career in the after the 10, and they're asking, sir, I'm very much interested in the game development. I'm fascinated to play the game, and I would like to develop the games and all. So my recommendation for them, go for the library like PySoy or Pygame. This is a library which you can explore more for the game development. So you have a choice. Now, someone who like to become big, by how you want to become, by doing the big data analysis. Someone who like to think about trillions of data, petabytes of data. You need a solution. Do you know you have the solution for that also? Yes, there is a solution here. This is the most important part of my the why Python is becoming so popular. Let me tell you, this is the slide which you should take it in a seriously, like why I am saying the Python is becoming so popular. The reason, the kind of library which is the most fastest library, most high level library, PySpark. Maybe I think very few guys will be knowing about the PySpark here. I'm one of the in the India, one of the trainer who started the PySpark training almost 5 years back, and that time only the PySpark came. I did a lot of research on the PySpark. Let me do. Previously, only Spark was a famous language for the big data analysis and all. But now Python has created one PySpark library using on top of the Hadoop. It is the library which is on top of Hadoop. If you want to go for big data analysis, then PySpark is a library for that. Something where you want to do the machine learning using the big data now. Machine learning, data science, using the big data, PySpark is there. For working on the PySpark, there are certain prerequisites. And what is the prerequisite? You should have the knowledge about Python, because all the script will be done in the Python. Obviously, that's the base language. The second is you should know the big data also. What big data? You should know the Hadoop concept, how the big Hadoop data, distributed file system is there. So HDFS concept should be known to you. And because here PySpark will be on top of the big data, means Hadoop. So having the knowledge of Hadoop, then you can go for the Spark or PySpark directly. So there you will see like, okay, how we can do the mapper and reducer program. So all that we can do in the case of PySpark. And it's like a functional. You just write one line code and you can do a lot of things using the PySpark. That's a very interesting part in the PySpark. Then the other library which is already there in the after installing whatever installation we are done right now, in the case of Anaconda, we have the library available called NumPy. NumPy allows you to go for the you can say the multidimensional array and the matrices. So if you would like to go for numeric things like matrices operations, because every image is internally is a matrix, or you can say array. If you want to go for the internally, whatever you see, like how the calculations are done, how the matrix calculations are done, how array calculations are done. If you want to explore more, go for the NumPy library. In the topic like data science, I'll be covering the NumPy part. So right now I have not started, but very soon I'll be starting the workshop on NumPy data science library, like NumPy, then pandas, and then sklearn or scikit-learn. So what is sklearn? It is specifically for the machine learning. So if you want to train the machine, then you require to give certain, there are some algorithms are there. So these algorithms are already defined in the Python case. So here we have a scikit-learn, and in that you can use various machine learning algorithm like linear regression, logistic regression, and you can predict something. So based on input, you can have the output here, and also in case you like to predict something, then you can go for the sklearn or scikit-learn or machine learning library. Then in case you like to have the data frame, like you like to process the data, as your data could be SQL data, could be Excel data, or CSV data, what is the types of data it is. Now Panda is such a powerful library. Let me know, some companies are working only using the pandas. Very powerful library, allows you to process the data which could be of any format, could be CSV, JSON, Excel, and all that can be used like a database, and You can perform the various operations like data cleaning, data wrangling, data mungling, and all that can be done using the pandas. And also you can then use a matplotlibs or cborn, and you can visualize the data. So this is a very important library for data science. I will recommend those who like to go for data science, go for NumPy, Pandas, and sklearn library. Now, next thing comes, some guys are very much interested in the case of neural network. Neural network, you have a library available in the TensorFlow. Again, this is the library in the Python internally. So if you want to go for, you like to go for the AI application development, go for the TensorFlow library. And yes, it is there in the sklearn also, but TensorFlow gives you freedom to decide what is the type of machine learning or network, deep learning programming you like to do. So TensorFlow is there. So deep learning and all, you can go for TensorFlow. Then image processing and all, go for the OpenCV computer vision. So there are many things which are already available, and it is your choice based on the requirement. You need to select the library. I would like to see certain question in between. Yeah. Okay, somewhere say like someone is getting some disturbance in the voice. So let me check, because here the mic is perfectly working right now. Okay, fine. Then the desktop, I'd say like some guys are interested for the GUI programming. For them, the solution, yes, go for tkinter. GUI programming is something, or obviously like for the Windows based programming and all, we have a library available called tkinter, wxWidget, kv, pyqt. This kind of these are the libraries which are already available now, right? So web scraping, some of you guys are interested to scrap the data from web technologies. Let me do nowadays what happened. You have data available on various format, and you have the data available in a form of HTML5 or and you like, or XML format, you have JSON format. So various formats of data are there. Now, if you want to extract that data from the HTML5 or web pages, or from the XML, so you need to have some scraping library, and Python is having that scraping library available. With the help of this scraping library, you can extract data from web also. So now you can hack the data. You can hack data from wherever, like even you can automate the things like a Selenium. Like Selenium allows you to test also whether you are able to you can say check the various forms of the web also. That all thing can be done here. So these are the libraries which are there for the web scraping purpose. So Tuple Soap, Scrappy, LXML, Request, Selenium, URLib. So much of things. That's why the Python is becoming so popular. You have plenty of things to do. Now it's your choice. It's your choice. You need to decide whether you like to do the web scrap, whether you like to go for big data, whether you like to go for GUI programming, whether you like to go for the so it's game programming. So choice is yours, and that's why I say the language is very much flexible. I'm checking the question in between. Yeah, someone is having a question to computer vision and OpenCV. Yes, that's a library for the computer vision and even the you can say the image processing. Whenever you like to go for image processing, you can go for the OpenCV. So just wanted to clear that. So that was the question. And yes, it's a very huge thing to discuss. But right now in this particular workshop, our agenda is not to specific library, just to giving you the brief idea that when to use what library here. Some is very much interested for the embedded programming, because as I say, like in a class of 100 students, there will be some guys interested in the embedded programming. There will be some guys who are interested in IoT, Internet of Things. There will be someone who is interested in the web application development. There will be someone who is interested in database programming. So everybody will have different interests. Python is giving you option to select your interest now. And here there is an option for the embedded application development, and you can buy the Raspberry Pi. You can explore more on working on the devices also. Let me look. Python is written in the C language. As a result, what happened? You can also have something written in the C also and something in the high level language. So there's a combination. You can have some object written in the C and some using the Python itself. So I hope you understood like why Python is so popular. Here I'd like to summarize here that why Python. So there are reasons like Python is having the dynamic typing. It has a built-in data structure, which is again a high-level data structure, has a powerful library available, and beautiful framework like Django, Flask, and many more frameworks as per the requirement. It has a great community support available, so much of library, so much of documentation. The community is doing the great job in the Python case and allows you to do the rapid web application. Is a language which is open source, easy to learn, and that is what all about the Python, why Python is so becoming popular. So I hope you understood the theory part here. Just wanted to tell you like there's a career in the Python. You have a great career in the Python because Python is becoming so popular day by day, and the language has become so popular and easy to learn language in the 2020. One of the easiest language to learn is a Python now. You can see from this graph itself. I hope it is clear to all of you like why Python is so popular now. Here, before we start the another theory part, I hope most of you guys must have installed the Python, and I'd like to show some hands-on session now. So I'll be switching back to the hands-on portion of the Python, not just theory, because yes, there is no limit in terms of theory is concerned. I do have a lot of topics to discuss in theory, but in between you should understand the topic with the help of hands-on also. So let me come back to the hands-on part now. So here I'm starting with the Anaconda part. Let me check where. Yes. So I have already installed Anaconda. So you can see the screen now. I have started the Jupyter here, Jupyter notebook. Here you can start from here Python 3 in case you already installed. I'm starting here. Give me a second. Okay. I have just closed all other windows so that I have only one Windows. Okay, so I have just written one notebook here, and in the notebook, I'll be doing the hands-on part. And make sure that you're understanding each and every concept, whichever I said just now to you. Starting with the first step here. Welcome to Python. How quick it is, right? I just say welcome to Python, and here the interpreter has responded to you. And that's what the interpreted interactive language means. You simply need to say print and just say hi, and you get the response. Any language is there who said in like Java or C++, you say hi and Java respond to you hi? I don't think, right? So Java doesn't respond hi immediately. Java will respond once you write system.out.println, and then you compile, and then you execute, and then after some time you get a hi. So that's why I say the Java is not interactive language that way, whereas Python is. So that's why, and that's very easy. Like I just say print hi and the response has come now. Now, every word whichever I said about the Python, I will show practically also. I say Python has a dynamic typing, right? So let me write certain data here and give certain values here. If I give some value here, some numeric value, right? So let me give the numeric value here and say, ask the questions to the Python. What is the type it is now? So I'll just say type data. And you got the immediate response. And what is said? It's an integer type. So you just change the value and get the response, the type also. So you get all the types. So let me write all this thing in the one cell only so that I can show all the types here just by simply changing the value. So type is a function here, and here I'm just changing the value, and the interpreter is telling me. I don't need to tell like, okay, this is a float, this is a string, this is a integer, or this is some the class. I don't need to say. Python is going to tell you. So all this, like what you see right now, this float is what is a class again internally. I'm just changing value here. Now let us say hello. What is this hello now? Let me ask the interpreter, and I put the single quote here, and I'll ask the interpreter what it is. It is the string. So interpreter is telling you dynamically. That is what dynamic typing here. I don't need to allocate and say, oh, this is a string, and then you need to use that particular string. No, it's not like that. Here, based on the value, dynamically, interpreter is going to say that the type of data what you're using is of what type here. So it is based on the value. So now you can try something special here. Let's say data 1 equal to some Boolean type is true. And let me type here. And what is say? It's a Boolean type now. So you are getting the response as it's a Boolean type. Now you change the value here again. I'm writing it here, data equal to some number like 5 plus 10j, and ask her now what it is. What is the type? It is a complex type. So here I'm trying to tell you what are data types are in Python. So you have an integer type, your float type, your string type, your Boolean type, your complex type. Here, understand the complex type, how it is. So complex number, it has two things. One is the real value and one is imaginary value. So what you see here, pi plus 10j. So 10j is what? Is an imaginary value here, right? So in some language, we have 10i, something like I is there. So there we call imaginary. Here j is there. So j represent imaginary value. And the type here, it is a complex type here. So now understand, Python is an object-oriented scripting language. What is object-oriented scripting language means? Everything is object. What you see here, data is an object now of the type complex. Now, I would like to see what this class includes. So I can see the help also. Let me show you the help of this data. What it shows now, this data belong to the class complex. So internally, it is a class complex from where I am extracting the data, which includes the method and attribute. So I have just extracted the two things, the img, this is data, and the real, and there's a method also available called conjugate. I'll be using that method conjugate also. What I did, I just say type help of this particular data now, and I came to know how the things are internally now. So let me now show you the method also, data.conjugate. So class consists of two things. One is data, the other thing is a method. And here you can see the method, conjugate method. Conjugate is inverse, like whatever so here 5 plus 10j of inverse is 5 minus 10j. If you say 5 minus 10j, conjugate will be 5 plus 10j. That is the way the conjugate is. So now you can see here that this is something where you can understand how Python is. Python is having the built-in objects available. Now, let me show some demonstration about how the integer objects are, how they are different than the other languages like C++ and Java. In Python case, something which is very interesting, and that is like interpreter, what we see integer here. Let us take the integer thing here, and let me do some calculation. Let's say 2 to the power, something like 10,000. Do you know the response here? Very interesting. Oh, 2 to the power I said, not the multiplication. So power means 2 times star. And you can see response is very big, right? So it is going beyond the 32-bit, going beyond 64-bit. So here there is no limit, no limit. 2 to the power 10,000 means it is allowing it to go for crossing the limit of 32-bit, 64-bit. So here we call integers are unbounded. Integers are unbounded. This is what the feature. That's so not restricted to a specific bit here, like 32-bit or 64-bit here. Like other language we say like, okay, if it is a C language, we say this is a memory you can allocate. But here there's no, there is a dynamic memory allocation. Let me do. Here there's an interesting part. Python has a dynamic memory allocation everywhere. You do not require to allocate and deallocate manually. Based on the value, interpreter Python take care of like allocation, and it has a built-in function calloc internally. So when it is written, it has a dynamic memory allocation only. So this is the way you can see the differences here between the languages, like other languages integer and the Python integer here. So similarly for all the thing what you see here is like dynamic here, dynamic memory allocation. Here integer what you saw, they are unbounded, and the float all like based on value. Interpreters say that this is a float, and based on like like a single quote or double quote or triple quote, interpreter will assume that this is an integer or string, or like single quote is also string, double quote is also string, and triple quote is also string here. So that is about a string here. Again, like a string is a big topic to understand the Python now. So I wanted to give some hands-on part here. So just given you the quick idea about data types here. Next thing is about data structure. And this is a very important topic, that is data structure. What data structure include in the Python case? Python has a very powerful data structure, and it has a two category in that case, and that is mutable, and the second category is immutable. So what is mutable category means? Mutable means it includes the data structure. Obviously, like now let me tell you different data types and data structure. Data type means you can hold only single value, but when you say data structure, you can hold more than one value. So in case you like to store more than one value, go for data structure now. So what are the data structures are there? There are two categories of data structure. One is called mutable data structure. The another one we call immutable. So what this mutable data structure include now? Mutable means it includes list. Then what else? We have a dictionary. We have a set. So all this comes under the mutable, where you can modify. Mutable, as the name indicate, it is ready to modification. Whereas immutable data structure, we have a powerful immutable data structure like a tuple. Then what? We have a string also. Then next thing is number. Number comes as a immutable types here. So these all comes into the immutable types. Number is not data structure here, just to say like they are the immutable type here. Okay, so this is the thing which is comes under data structure part. So here I'm covering this part with an example. I'd like to take some theory and some practical parts. So we were trying to understand data structure part. So before the data structure, some guys who joined first time for the Python, they should know a little bit about the Python history now. After that, again I will come back and come back and explain you the practical part of the this session now. So let me even check, like, am I finishing the topic? Okay, fine. So here history. What is the history behind Python? Someone guys think like those who are still not aware, like Python is not language. This name has not come from the snake, because though guys, today only I discussed with someone from management. So he said like, are you taking something about the snake? And I said, no, I'm not talking about snake, I'm talking about the language here. So let me tell you, the Python name has not come from the snake here. This is not a workshop on any specific snake here. This is a workshop on the language. So why this name Python? That's what a question. So let me tell you here, this name has come from the entertainment word. And what is that? There was a BBC TV show, and it was very popular. And the Guru Vanderson was a fan of that popular TV show, and that was that name of that popular TV show was Monty Python. And from that Monty Python Flying Circus, the name Python came. It is not from the dangerous snake. So that let me clear you. So those who still have doubt, like, don't worry, it's not related to snake. It is related to the BBC TV show. It's a very entertaining language. It's not a dangerous language. So don't worry for that. The next thing is when it is started. As I said previously also, it started in the December 1989. At that time, the Van Rossum was in his vacation period, and he wanted to do something which is writing his own interpreter. He was very much focused in writing, and he was having the skill in C and C++. He thought, why not to write create his own interpreter. And he was working the company like he was working on the ABC language. So and from there he started writing his own small interpreter. With the interpreter, while writing interpreter, he started building us step-by-step version of the Python, and there are various versions available. So let me tell you some briefly about major version of the Python here. First major version is 0.9 version, which has came in the 1991, in the Feb 1991. Afterwards, the 1.0, it has come in the 1994. Then 2.0 version, that has come in the year 2000, and in the 3.0 version, which we are using right now, 3.x version, you can say. So it has come in the December 3, 2008 itself. So yes, so gradually the features is added in the Python. Previously, it's not like all the features were there. Step by step manner, the language has been built. That's why I say it's a mature language. It has so many features. Is because of so much of work done by the first one is the Guido van der Sum itself, and then later on the community. So he made that language as an open source, and it has been accepted by the community. And now like how the language is now. So how he started with writing the classes with inheritance, exception handling, then functions, and then models, and then gradually he entered into the functional programming tools. Like he wrote lambda functions, map functions, filter functions, reduce function, and then complex numbers he started support. So this way he started adding the feature to the language. And then the next version he started again release various releases. So step by step, he's been constantly working on developing the language. And then obviously with the help of some support and the community, the language has come to the level where with the help of this language now we can do whatever we want. And the major version which are so popular, that is the 2.x version, and the I can say series here, 2.x series and the 3.x series. But let me tell you guys, now 2.x series, there's no more support available now. You will require to start with a 3.x series only. For legacy applications, still 2.x series is there, but from 2020 onwards, support, or you can say the updates will not be there for the 2.x series. So that's why. But then you should know what was there in the old language. In the future, we may have a 4.x, but as of now, there is a 3.x version is available. And gradually you can see the various features added, and there is a difference between the 2.x series and the 3.x series. Previously we were more discussing about those differences between the 2.x series, because we were using both the series parallelly. Some guys were working on 2.x series, some guys were working on 3.x series. But I think those who are now, you are the freshers, so you will be starting with the 3.x series, so you may not require to go for the 2.x series as such. But then some application which are we call legacy application, so all application you may have those kind of feature available. So quickly I would like to tell you the difference between this 2.x and the 3.x series. Those who are still using, let's say, 2.x series, let me tell you the basic difference here. So whenever you look kind of the calculation here, 7 by 2, here you get the result which is a more rounded calculation, whereas in the case of 3.x version you get expected result here. That's one of the very important difference between the 2.x series and the 3.x series here. Then the another very, very important difference you can observe here is a print statement. Very important statement, because once what happened, I was working on the 2.x series, and while installing, I installed 3.x series, and at the client place, while delivering the session on the Python, I did not know which version I was working. I thought it will be it will work with the same how it is working the 2.x, but it did not work. So there I found what happened. Why my function is not running, why my print statement is not working. The reason was I updated my Python version from 2.x to 3.x version. So once you update, you cannot you will not have the same print statement now. So here you need to have all the functions. You need to give the bracket to each and every print statement. Obviously now from past so many years I'm using the 3.x version, but let me know, when you start and you're not aware the changes, then it will be a little bit challenging for you, because yes, there is a difference between both the series here, and we should know what the difference here is. Okay, so I think that was a quick about the history and the differences between the two series, that is 2.x and the 3.x series here. Again, I would like to come back to the practical part here, and then as per the requirement, I will come back to the theory also. So here I'm coming to the practical part here, and that was about data structure. Now, as I said that we were talking about data types previously, and now we are talking about data structure. In that, let me explain you the topic like list here. Some of the guys who are fresher, because I know here those guys who join here, some of you guys are fresher here, some of you guys are already having the Python skill, but here this workshop I'm taking it for all. So objective is that even you know it, let us understand a little bit in details. Let's say about list now. What is list now? List is mutable data structure. So mutable data structure. So but then what if I have to define the list here? I will say is a mutable sequence of objects. Now I'm saying it's a sequence, it's not a collection, it's not just ordinary collection, it's a sequence here. What does the sequence mean? Sequence means something where we can have all the types of in a sequential order. You have a data in a having the index now. When you say sequence means it is related to index now. So here you're talking about index. So object could be now of integer type, could be of float type, could be of string type, could be of dictionary type, any type it could be of any type. And here this is a sequence of, or you can say combination of all the types here. It is not like an array is having only similar type of data. You can say yes, your array is also storage, you can store the all data, but then it has only similar type of data in the array. In the list case, what happened, it is a mutable sequence of any type of data. You can have integer type, float type, or string type. So all this is there in the list itself. So let us proceed further here. Now what we can do with the help of list? How do you store data in the list? How do you define the list? So let me take the example. Let's say books is a list now. I'll define the list by the square bracket. You can ask the question to the interpreter what this books is, and when you say square bracket, interpreter is responding and saying that this is of the type list now. Okay, so how do you now create a stack of the books now? Let's say you want to create a stack of books. So how you can use a list as a stack? List as a stack. So here I'm going to show you the demonstration of list as a stack. So for that, let me take the books here as an example, and I'm going to append the data here, books.append. So what is stack? Stack means data which is added last is a first out. And how you can implement this stack, you are going to see with the help of example now. So here you say the Java book first. Then you can start appending the data. It is like a other programming language we call push, right? So same way here, there's a append. So you may have various languages or books here. Let's say JavaScript. You have a let's say Python, CPP. You have something called, let's say, Python, or you have the .NET, anything. So I just appended, and let us see what the books now is having. So books is having all the data, whichever I just now added. You can add the string type of data, you can add integer type, float type on any other category also. Now what the list as a stack means, the data which is added last is the first out. So let me do that part here now. Print books here, and you can so here let us do this books dot what is that? How you can remove? By pop, and then print books here. Let us see what happens now after printing. You can see the data which is added last is been come out now. So this way you can remove the data now. So list allows you to append the data. List allows you to modify the data, and all that operation can be seen. So how you can modify data? You can just simply say, okay, let me now modify the data. Let's say books of 0 is Java now. So let me print this first. So let me print this. So here it is a Java, and I would like to modify it now. How do you modify? Just say books of 0 equal to certain value, and it's a advanced Java. And now let us see the result. It is modified now. So this way you can update. So list allows you to perform the operation we call mutable operation. You can append the data, you can pop the data, you can modify the data, you can extend the data also. Let's say you have one more list here. Let's say book 1, and having some other data also. Let's say you have data like Spark, and let us add somewhere like a Scala. And this is a list now, book 1. Now you would like to extend the existing one. Let's say you have books now already available. You have books already available, and you would like to extend this. So you can do this by simply command call books.extend and just say book 1. Now print books and see the result. What is the result you are getting now? You are getting the complete list, which is an extended list now. Here, this is the output of the books now. You can see the output, how it is. This is the result. And this is the way I'm modifying now. I'm I'm extending it one by one. Okay, so this was about how you can, update the list. You can perform like that several operations, but what are operation? How do you know like what operation, how operation? So you can just see the dir of books here, and you can see various attributes which are associated with the list now. Which are the attributes which are associated here? You can see append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert, pop, remove, reverse, and sort. So it means you can perform all these operations on the list now. So you can append the list, you can clear the list, you can copy the list, you can extend, you can find the index value, you can insert the new data in between. So let's say you want to add the data, like so you have books now, you want to insert the data in between. At index position, let's say 2, I want to insert the PySpark. So this can be done. You can just see the print books now, and you will see at the index position 2, PySpark is added. So here it allows you to perform like linked list operation, you can say. You can extend, you can remove, you can also, do whatever you want to remove in between. You want to have certain portion of this to be created. So I'll just create a one copy, books 2, and having some books only, some subscripting. So I will start with the index position 0, and I'll just say I want only 10 books, up to 10 books. So let us see what is a books 2 now. So I have only now 0 to 10 means total 10 books will be there, up to 9. So this way the 10 books I can get it. So this is called subscripting. I need something of books which are alternate books, let's say. So I can create a new series here, books 3, and just say books of 0, okay, colon 2. Now here I'll get the series we call alternate series now. Alternate series. So I'm getting the first book, then alternate books, like that. So this way you can perform various operations, and all these operations which I'm saying, the mutable, and then what you see is like you can extract, you can whatever the data you want by subscripting, you can perform some operation on the list now. So this is what the significance of the list here. Yeah, you need to explore a lot. Let me do this is a library. So it is object oriented, it is a class is already there, list is a class now. It has several methods, and we need to explore. More you explore, more you learn. You can have the nested list also. Then you need to know like how to extract data from the nested list. Okay, so that is the basic things in the Python as a data structure is concerned. Then you have the next data structure, which is a tuple. How the Python, know tuple. Tuple is just like, you just say t is equal to, let's say, round bracket. And if you ask the Python what it is, by default, it is say tuple. It's tuple. You can also mention here like t1 equal to 2, 3, and just say type of t1. Interpreter will say it is a tuple. So let me tell you, comma separator value is also called as a tuple. or in the bracket what you see is called tuple. Now which is not tuple? If I say T2 is equal to, in the bracket itself 1, and if we ask the Python what it is, so the bracket doesn't mean tuple. Let me tell you here. Now what happened here if I say T2? See here. What will be the result? Is it a tuple? The answer is no, it's not tuple, it's integer now. Because comma separator value, Python interpreter is assuming that as a tuple. So very important to understand that what is tuple and which is not a tuple now here. So tuple is what? Tuple is a immutable data structure. So here in this case what happened? You can have the sequence value, it's a sequence but immutable sequence here. So you cannot modify in this case. So if you try to, let's say, create a one tuple of let's say book here. Let's say take a books or movies, and you have the tuple of movies now. It could be the, let's say, ABC movie, or maybe some movie name you can say Titanic, or take any movie here. Okay, so let's say this is the movies data, and then you like to see, like you like to modify here. So movies of 0 is ABC, and I would like to make it some other movie name here. Okay, so let's say Legend. So can I modify here? Let us see it. Let us see the output here, movies, and the answer is like, say that tuple object does not support item assignment. What does it mean? The tuples are immutable, means you cannot modify here, right? But how we use tuple in the real-time scenario? You can use a tuple in a scenario like you like to swap the data. You can save the data, in a readable format. Whenever you want to save data in a read format, you can use a tuple then. So let me show you one small demo where you can use a tuple for swapping the number also. So you have, let's say, 4 number, first number, second number, third number, fourth number, and you have some values, let's say 4, 5, then 6, then 7 and 9. Now you like to swap this. In the case of other languages like C++ and Java, you may require that a big program for swapping the number. But in the Python case, it is a very, just like a one line, you can do that part. You can simply say here for first, you can say it is a 4. Then you can say third for second, and then you can say second here, and first. And now we print first, second, third, fourth. What do you see here now? The numbers are swapped now. I hope you are getting how the things are working in the. I just simply say and here we call parallel assignment. This statement is called parallel. So you can have anything. It's not just numeric. You can have the string. You can have anything. So this is called parallel assignment. So quickly you can have and then you can swap also. So that's the beauty of Python. This way you can reduce the lines of code. So whenever you want to use whenever you want to store data in the, where you don't want modification to take place, just the read only data, then use a tuple for that. Whenever you want someone to modify, then use a list for that. So both the data structures are very powerful. As per your programming requirement, you will require to use this particular data structure. Let me know, you can switch to any data structure at any point of time. Let's say, for example, right now you are using the list now, and you would like to switch to tuple. Yes, you can use a tuple function, and you can convert list to tuple. Similarly, you have data structure, let's say a tuple data, and you like to switch to the list, you can do using the list function also. So both the way it is possible. Switching is also possible. You can convert into one form to another form also. So this was just a quick idea about data structure here now. Let me look, there are other powerful data structure available, like a string is there. So if I have some string, I can use a string method, just like say upper, and I can simply convert into the upper. So string is a immutable object here. Why I say immutable? Because you cannot modify string again. But what is string? String is a sequence of character. See, string could be in a single quote, could be a double quote, could be a triple quote. When you say triple quote string, means it has a multiple line string. But in the single quote and double quote, you can have single line string here, and you can perform various operations. Let's say you have str s1 having a Python scripting. This is a string now, and you can perform various operation on this. So you can look at what are the operation you can perform now. Just simply seeing the dir, you'll come to know various attribute which are associated with the string itself. And you can see there are various attributes, like you can capitalize, you can find the count the particular characters, you can see like how the string has ended with, how you can find the index value of the particular character. So many attributes are associated with the string itself. So it's a very powerful data structure in the Python. So yeah, but then let me tell you again, you will got to explore this particular topic, like whatever the topic I'm covering here. Here I'm just giving the gist of the topic, but it is not like I'm covering all the things. After even going through this, whatever the workshop I'm trying to cover in a short duration, you will definitely require to practice and explore in case you are new to the Python here. Okay, so now I have given you the quick idea about data structure here. Yes, there are like a data structure like dictionary also. So I will give the quick idea about dictionary. Dictionary is something where you can store data which is in the form of key and value pair. So let me create a dictionary here. Let's say dict. Okay, d1 is equal to dict function. This is also where I can create a dictionary. You can ask the Python that what is the type of d1 means, and interpreter will say it is a dictionary now. Dictionary is what? Is a collection. It is an unordered collection with a key and value pair. So you can have a key here as a, let's say, key is a name, and you can have the value here, let's say Surendra, and you can ask what exactly it is. So it is a key and value pair. You can add another things like a d1 of, let's say, last name, and having the value now. Again, I'm adding the new value things. So let us see what happened now. And the result, you can see you got the two key and value. So what are the keys now? You can simply say d1 dot keys, you get the keys here. d1 dot values, you get the values here. So this is the way you can access the dictionary. Yes, there are a lot of methods available in the dictionary. You can just say dir of d1, you will come to know what else are the methods available in the dictionary. So it's a data structure. Again, it's object oriented, so it has a various method available. You can copy the dictionary, you can get the items from the dictionary, you can find the keys, you can pop the data, means remove the data, you can update the data, and many more things. Again, you can have dictionary of dictionary, you can have values could be of mutable type, and keys are always immutable types. So keys are unique in the dictionary, and they are all immutable type also. So we have to be very careful while typing the key here. You cannot use a key as a list, but you can use a tuple as a key. You can use a string as a key, but not the mutable thing. But in the case of values, yes, you can have anything. In the values, you can have a list as a value, you can have tuple as a value, you can have string as a value. Whatever value you like to give it, that is a fine for us. So that is the way the dictionary is now. Yes, again, it is a big data structure to learn, and very powerful data structure, like some language we call hash here. So this was to give the data, the brief idea about data structure. Now again, I would like to come back to the theory part, and again I will come back to the practical part after the break. So here, not a break, I will say I will come back to the theory break, you can say here. So here again, switching to the theory part. I know most of you guys will be interested in the practical, but then I don't want you to miss anything from the Python. I would like to cover maximum thing in a short duration only. So once whoever is attending the workshop first time, let me tell you, this I'm trying to make it easy for you, and trying to explore many things in this particular workshop here. I just say the various features of the Python. Already we discussed these things. So I will be skipping some portion, but then quickly that the just like a summary, you can say the language is very easy to code. The other features of the Python, it's a language which is a expressive language. So someone guys who like to understand what is expressive language means. The term expressive says like it is a focusing on the solution rather than syntax. So it's not a language where we talk too much about the syntax here. In the language like Java and C++, we talk too much about the syntax, but not a case in the case of Python. So it's like focusing on more on the solution. We want the problem to be solved. We are not interested how the things are happening internally, how memory is allocated internally, how it is deallocated. That is not the interest in the Python case. and our focus is okay, do the thing with a few lines only. And that's why we call it is a expressive language. The feature is like free and open source. Obviously it is available, like freely downloadable, free source code. You can also become a part of the community, and also you can help to other community to develop certain application, and starts helping the community by writing your own application also. Write some other application which are community based application to solve some problem. Take some problem and solve using the Python. Or someone who like to let's say you like to help for creating some Windows application, go for the GUI programming there, and you have the solution available for that. Someone is okay, the language feature is like it's saying the high level language. I already discussed with you that it's a language which is a programmer friendly language, independent of system architecture. You don't require to worry about how the architecture part is a language. Is a portable language. It is a platform independent, works on all the OS here, has a large library available like Django's, Flask, Pyramids, TensorFlow, Pandas, NumPy, and dynamic typing. I will discuss this part, that it has a runtime. So this is all like various features available. It has a dynamic memory allocations available, and this is what quickly I want to tell you the various feature. The benefits are easy to learn. Again, based on the feature, you have benefits here. The language is productive, supportive, all these things I already discussed, so I will not discuss those part now. And what is next part is here is the various application, because the part related to like benefits and the I think they are already correlated. Based on the feature we have benefit, but what is important is like what are the applications are there. Let me look. Python is the language where you have several applications available. You have web applications based on the need. You have desktop application, you have console based application, software development related things are there, scientific business application, audio visual based application, enterprise application, image processing application, game development, machine learning, artificial intelligence, data science, data visualization, web scraping, embedded applications, 3D CAD applications. So it's your choice now. Let me know, there are some application, those guys, the company who started just, you can say 10-15 years back, has become so famous just because someone has focused on developing the application like Instagram using the Django. Now this application has become so famous and so demanding. Now the kind of user base has increased for the Instagram, but how it is developed? It is developed using the Django, and obviously there are many more technology which are integrated with the Django. Because of that, there is a Instagram now. Do you want to know like how the Instagram has changed and how much is the popular and how exactly the growth of the Instagram has taken place? So this Instagram is a Django based application. It has a various framework also integrated. So you look at the kind of users which are connected to Instagram, and you can see from the year 2010 to 2018, you can see the billions of users are connected to the Instagram. How? Just because the kind of application is developed and the kind of language used is a Python and the Django, and obviously there are other technology which are integrated. So as an entrepreneur, you can imagine, okay, can we develop such kind of application which is helping the users to connect? There are social media application, but yes, let me tell you, lot of thing is possible if you are the skill like entrepreneur skill now. Someone must have developed this kind of application. Even we have developed the LMS now using the Django, and that's becoming like like very useful to the learners, and they can automate. You can automate whatever stuff you want to automate. So if you have the entrepreneur mindset, let me tell you, use a Python, use a Django, and I will definitely take the workshop, because someone already asked me like, sir, will you take the workshop on Django? Let me definitely, I will take the Django workshop very soon. I will announce that Django workshop also. Also, I'll be announcing the artificial intelligence workshop, as well as some data science workshop, machine learning workshop, deep learning workshop. So there will be a many more workshop. They all are connected. Let me tell you, whatever topic I said, they all are connected, and with all those things together become this kind of application. And they are just like so easy to develop. There's a lot of knowledge is required. There's a lot of skills are required, not just the Python. Let me look, Python is the core of all this thing now. Whatever you want to do for that, Python is the core. But then beyond that also, there are many more things are there. What else are the applications which are developed? So look at the applications. Yes, there are numerous applications, but the most popular application which all of you guys are already using, like YouTube, Dropbox, Google, Quora, Bitly. So all these applications are developed using the Python and Python based framework now, like Django and all. So these are the like motivation for us. If having the skill in the Python, you can develop such kind of application, and these are the most popular and worldwide available applications. They are so you imagine, like, if you have the Python expertise, having the expertise in Python and Django, what you can do. So this is like a motivation for you. So whatever thing I'm trying to discuss in the case of application, it is just to tell you that you can also develop. It is not like they are like, it is like someone has planned, someone has decided to work constantly on the Python and constantly on the Django. They can develop such kind of application here. You can decide whether you like to go for GUI based application, whether you like to go for the web based application, or you like to go for console based application. The solutions are available. Even the console based application like terminal tables, this application is already available for your reference. There are software development like Buildbot and Apache. There is a SCONS is a used to build control. So this is one of the software available using the developed using the Python. It's like a make project. So same is a SCON. It's an open source software construction tool. Then there are scientific and numeric applications available based on your requirement. I'm not covering each and every application detail because just wanted to tell you the what the idea. The idea, like, you can decide whether you like to develop the ERP application or business application, what application you want to develop. So it's your choice, it's your interest. Based on that, you can decide whether you like to go for audio or video based application. So yes, there are various options available for audio and video based application also. We may as a GKTCS, we like to definitely help all the guys to develop a varieties of application, and we are creating the one complete project internship in our company itself, where we'll be supporting to develop the various types of application using the Python and Django, as well as open source technology. You can see like OpenERP is one of the famous application which is already available as an enterprise application. Having the knowledge about ERP and Python definitely help you to go for the OpenERP and think about can you create such a business or enterprise application. Yes, there are options available for image. Someone already asked, like, yeah, we have a pillow, we have a simple TK, OpenCV. So I'll just say, like, image processing, your varieties. There are some just example. It doesn't mean that only you are going to use this application. It is your choice based on your requirement. You will require to use the library for that. If you are into the game development, again, you have options available. I'm not saying the same things are there. These are just some of the example of the game development application. But then yes, there are. Like Pygame is one of the applications already available. Yeah, so I already discussed many other things like data science, data visualization, Matplotlib, Seaborn, for all based on data. If you are from the background like data science, you have options available, and you have a great career. Data scientist, let me tell you, data scientist is a great career. You can explore it as a data scientist, and in future there will be huge demand to become data scientist. If you want to enter the web scraping, yes, you have options available for web scraping also. Embedded, I told you like last time also, and even those guys from mechanical domain, they can go for the CAD and CAM, those kind of application also. So that was all about the theory part for the today's session. Again, I will come back to the practical part here, or and then I will be concluding for the today's session afterwards. So just a few minutes, and then I will be just concluding that part. Let me tell you, based on this, whatever the session we are taking, I want you to explore more about this, and also register on the portal to get the data from this. You will get the all the PPT, PDF, as well as the videos. All the things are available on our portal, and it's freely available. We're not charging anything for accessing this all the services. Like if you want to know about the Python course, Django course, there are contents also available, and that access is already available on our portal. So just try to grab that all the content. Also, we are going to conduct the test and give the certificate at the end of this particular workshop. So my suggestion will be you can attend both the workshop, because tomorrow we are going to develop the application using the object-oriented programming itself. So today I'm just covering the basic part, so that those guys who are new to the Python, they understand, okay, how the Python is and why Python, and what you can do with the help of Python, what the basic data structure is and all. But then the tomorrow session is like the application of the Python, where you are going to develop the application. using the object-oriented programming feature of the Python. Specifically, we are going to develop the bank application using the Python itself. So that will be there for the tomorrow session. Again, I'm coming back to the practical part to give the quick idea about how you can write the program in the Python now. Meanwhile, you can also write your feedback for this particular session so that I can add all those points in the tomorrow's workshop also. So I request you to fill the feedback form. Let me know like how you like the workshop, because I'm trying to cover many things in a short duration. That's why I may not be answering everyone question here, but trying to cover whatever is possible in the short duration now. Okay, so now about the programming part. Python is a very much superior language to write the program also. You can do the programming by using the few keywords like if, elif and all. So let's say you want to write a program for greatest top 3 number. How do you write it? I'll just show the demo here, and then because some of the program only I can write in a short duration now. So how do you write a greatest top 3 number in the Python? So I will take the data first data. Let us take the 3 number here, input, enter first number. I hope you know how the input is taken here, and I'm taking the integer type here. So let us see the thing for the first number, for the second number, what happened here, and print also. So let us take the first number, then second number, then third number, and let us print also. First, second, third. So how do you write a greatest of 3 number here? I'm just taking the print value. Let's say first one is 34, 43 and 65. So I have a 3 variable now, first, second and third, and I would like to find out which is the greatest of 3 number. So let me write the program here. If first is greater than second and first is greater than third, then print first is greater. This is the way the indentation is done here. So the program is well indented. You can see you need to give the space. There is no after the colon. What I'm doing is I am just writing the indentation here. Now the elif part is below that only. Elif second is greater than third, and you can see the print second is greater, and print the second now. Else part is saying the print third is greater. Okay, and then print third here. So let us see how does it work now. You just give the value here, first value, second value and third value, and you can see the result here. What is saying? Third is greater. Very simple program. You can save this program now in the notebook also. I'm just saving it now. Just saying the greatest 3.py. I must have done this several times, so I'll be overriding this program, and I can run here also by just saying greatest top 3 now. This is the program, greatest 3 return. Yeah, this one. So you can see this is the way also you can execute. So now this program, I will modify it and add something more like loop here. While loop, how I can use a while loop. So I'll just put the while loop here. For that, I will require to indent while true. The entire code should be indented. And then give the break statement here. Otherwise, this program will be in the loop. Now, what is the benefit? Just understand the syntax while loop here. And now just ask the value 34, 64. Okay. The problem here is like in this case, I put a the break for the third statement. So it will be break only when the third value is greater. If let's say the second value put it greater now, what happened? It will keep on continue. So that is the way the while loop is. So I had to make the sure that now the third value is greater. This is what the loop I'm trying to execute. So understand the syntax of how you can write this kind of a program. So this was a syntax about how you can write a program or control structure. Obviously, you need to practice a lot to understand the programming part also. The very important thing is a indentation part here. Okay, so now the next part is how to write a function here. So I'm writing a very simple function. Let's say this program itself, I would like to convert into function. So I will do what? I will convert this entire thing into the function now. So this program, which I wrote it here, this entire program. So let me convert into function. So let me put this as a def greatest of first, second, and third. And now the code should be well indented now. Everything should be under the indentation. And let's see how this greatest function work now. And try to give the value 4, 5, 6. And you can see it is showing me the third is greatest. So function is written just by passing the parameter here like greatest def function name, first, second, third, and wrote a very simple piece of code just to tell you the demo like how we can write a function in the Python. So this is the way the Python syntax is all about. Obviously, there is a need of practice in each and every domain. It's not such a small topic like we can cover in such a short duration. But here I'm giving a gist of it. Okay, at least you should know like this is the way the scripting language is. So I hope you got the idea here that what the Python is, and then let me summarize here whatever we are covered now. And also we'll try to answer the questions to you. So here I try to cover the basic or the introduction part of the Python here. What the Python is. I hope you understood the definition here that Python is a general purpose, interpreted, interactive, object oriented, high level scripting language. And I have already explained the each and every terms here. So are you clear with this definition now? And the next thing is I discuss about the how do you install, and I told you like you can install from the Anaconda site, and I hope like some of the guys must already install it on their machine. And I will definitely recommend you to go to this video again because this video will be shared to you to practice, and there are other already video for practical purpose. Even there is an advanced object-oriented programming. That video is already available on the YouTube channel. So you can go to that video before you come for the tomorrow session, because there I'll be developing the application and you'll come to know